Sonic Forces. Oh boy, I did not expect to talk about this game, but I've been having this character and I've been wanting to talk about this specific villain in a very long time, and I feel like he deserves to have his own redemption arc. So as we know, Sonic Forces came out back in 2017, and as we already know, this is one of the most hated Sonic games in the Sonic community. And the crazy part is, this was once one of the most highly anticipated Sonic games, and well, it came out to be a whole flop. People hated the game for many reasons. People hated the level design of the game, they hated the way how classic Sonic controlled in the game, they didn't like the story, and I can just go on and on about the different things that many people did not enjoy. But I feel like another reason why people hated the game as well was because of the representation of my boy Infinite. I feel like if there's one good thing about the game, and I know many people just instantly hate on the game, is Infinite. Now, don't get me wrong, the way how this man was treated in the game was absolutely terrible. He was not well written in this game either. So if you guys remember, Sega pretty much gave us an episode Shadow, which you get to play as my homie Shadow, and you get 3 levels there. And in those 3 levels, you do get a cutscene where Shadow did fight Infinite, which, I mean, it's pretty obvious. My boy Shadow just, beat him up. And from that day, my man was just like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna prove to the whole world that I am him and that I am not afraid of anything. That's literally the whole lore of this guy. So you're telling me you just could not take the beating, you just had to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna be petty about it. I'm about to prove to the whole world that I am goated. Bro, what type of writing is that, man? And to be fair, this man was actually a threat in the game. I know I'm over here joking about this man, but this man was actually pretty busted in the game, I'm not gonna lie, because of the fact that he had the Phantom Ruby. Although this man was not well written in the game, I feel like he did pretty much do his role somewhat properly well, because this man made Tails look like a whole crybaby. Like, bro, he literally ruined Tails' whole reputation in the whole, for many people right now. This man beat Silver up, which I hate the fact that they did that, and he even beat Sonic. What is that? What? And of course we have everybody else like the Sonic crew and the friends. They were obviously scared of my boy Infinite. And I guess you can say he did his job because he pretty much made them have fear. And that was one of the biggest things that he had as well. Infinite was also an anthropomorphic jackal, and he was actually the previous leader of the Jackal mercenary group. But yeah, that's when my man finds Eggman, and that's when Shadow comes into the picture. Fight back, nigga! Now, with Infinite having the Phantom Ruby, he does create illusions, and I feel like that's probably one of the biggest things in his power, because he creates false realities. The crazy part is, he was actually also tricking Shadow the Hedgehog as well. My man Shadow got tricked by Infinite, because if you pay attention, in the 3rd level of episode Shadow was part of the whole illusion thing that Infinite had going on, and he was actually manipulating him as well. Bro, whenever I see the amount of things that this man Infinite could have done, he probably could have done even worse things, and the amount of potential, once again, I know people hate that word because, oh my gosh, dude, Infinite potential, Silver potential, Blaze, all these other characters, but it's true, man. You gotta think about it. Just imagine Sega bringing back Infinite and making him like a whole worldwide threat. That would be insane. With the Phantom Ruby, this man is probably one of the most broken and badass Sonic villains that we've ever received in a very long time. The concept and the way how my man looks is actually pretty badass. I personally like it, and I feel like he's like a unique villain in the Sonic franchise. Now, as we already know, the whole goal of Infinite was to pretty much take over the world and rule over the whole world. You know, basic stuff that we've seen with Dr. Eggman countless amount of times, so that's why I keep saying it's pretty generic. Okay, but the main question here is, how can we see this man Infinite possibly be redeemed in an upcoming game, in the future game, or something like that? Now, let's take the concept of the Phantom Ruby, and as we know, apparently he's been stuck inside the Phantom Ruby and he's trapped and he can't get out of there anymore. But just like we saw with Mephiles in Shadow Generations, I feel like they can possibly do something similar in that aspect. The only way I can see this man possibly return would be a Sonic X somebody else type of game, which could possibly maybe be Silver, a Knuckles game or something, bring him back and make him somehow get unsealed from the Phantom Ruby. Then have him seek revenge towards Sonic and his friends. Obviously, the big one is give him a better writing sense and a better writing direction. His design for me right now is pretty cool, but if they want to change it up a little bit, make him a little bit more cooler, I guess drippier, hey, I'll be down for that. Now I guess the whole plot or maybe concept that I'm thinking about would possibly be a whole damage in time or something like that. It's kind of similar to Sonic Frontiers, but kind of different. I would like it to be like a time rift where it would be a tear through different dimensions and time, and I'm guessing maybe Infinite could just appear out of nowhere and be like, oh, I'm here, little boys. Now, spoiler alert, I don't want to spoil anything if you guys haven't watched Sonic Prime, but in Sonic Prime, I guess this would be another great example, would be when there was a whole rip and tear in dimension and time, and I feel like that would probably be the best way to introduce Infinite back again. Now I can see how Infinite and Mephiles may actually come together, and they may be very similar in their personalities as they both want to be this one unstoppable being, and they just want to, go crazy on everybody pretty much. So yeah, man, I honestly don't know what they could possibly do with Infinite right now. That's pretty much my theory, my concept as what they could possibly do with this man. I mean, he released with a whole game that flopped and people just hated the game, and he's part of the game as well right now, so he can't really do anything about it to defend himself. I feel like this is going to be like another Sonic 06 situation, as people hated the game, but they actually liked the characters that were introduced to us, Mephiles and Silver. And if they ever do bring him back, just please don't make him work with Eggman, just make him a whole solo villain and make Eggman like a whole side villain or whatever, because it would kind of ruin their whole writing for him. So yeah, man, this is the story of Infinite and how I can possibly see him returning, and honestly, if they don't ever bring him back, I think it's just going to be whatever at this point, because he released with a game that was hated by many people. But my question to you guys is, would you guys like to see Infinite return in a future game, and do you think he should be redeemed? I'll catch you guys in the comments. Take care, stay safe, and peace.